conclusion is the ultimate. You see, it does become worse. Not only you are stupid to the power 4, but you have the pride that your conclusion is the ultimate.
So one thing is there, which has always surprised me since we have been taking this class, and that is that why the modern science of the dollar science has never been challenged. I mean, we can't say that there are new people who are scared of Allah, who are not concerned about the.
I have answer to that right here. Next slide. Subhanallah. Isn't that something? Last week it was you, and this week it's you. You see the answer. Next slide. Next slide. So the mindset of these guys are that of cult leaders. In the West there's cult coming out all the time. I'm Jesus Christ. I'm God. You know these cults.
Yes.
It's the same with I'm Khalifa. Even in this country, there are people claiming that they need allegiance, pledge of allegiance. Is it possible? Can you claim pledge of allegiance unless you believe you are Khalifa? So this is not, don't look for the West. It's not the cult leader with tattoos and horn and everything. It's you. Among Muslims, there are a lot of people thinking the same. They want pledge of allegiance from you, even though there is a Khalifa, there is a Amirul Mu'minin. And they are living in harmony. Nobody bothers them. So these cult leaders, number 4, number 5, distributed to the power 5, is everywhere. I have seen a lot of people saying that, oh, this is what I believe, and nobody does it, but Alhamdulillah, I have the knowledge. Just this mindset, be aware of that. We have this so-called Olympic model, we talked about it. So all the zeros, you see, these are all bad zeros. We have to replace that with positive things. And that we did in 16 years ago. But it really comes down to not individual zeros. Zero waste, like Dr. Yunus has 3 zeros. Zero carbon, zero poverty, zero unemployment. This is all BS, right? The real zeros is here. These are the 2 zeros you have to worry about. Zero waste and zero interest. And that's the basis. If you do not recognize that, these are based on waste. Western technology is based on wasting. More waste, more money. Based on interest, when we talked about it, the interest is the money, the country that is most indebted, that has the highest interest, are the richest. Starting with the US, number 1, number 2, China. And they're the most developed economically. So we have to change that paradigm, turn it upside down. And we have seen that graph before. This is stupidity to the power 5. And we have to replace that with Akal to the power 5. This is the process, progress, starting with something natural. That's the challenge. So how do you do that? Making up Dajjal was the first one. Making up ulama, the real scientist. Ulama doesn't mean you have a degree. Stop the waste, number 1. Stop artificial, number 2. Replace with real, number 3. Turn waste into value-added product, number 4. Maximize production with innovative techniques. That's research. These are all research material. This doesn't exist. That's number 5. It doesn't stop there. Sell your knowledge, not your raw material. What is the most valuable asset in Prophet's time? Knowledge. That's a Prophet. All the wealth belonged to a Prophet. Belonged to Allah and Prophet. He decided where the money goes.
But did he sell?
Of course. Even A guy did ruqya. He told Prophet that I did ruqya and I took money, and he said, "Where is my share?" Smiling. Worst income. Do you guys know this hadith? Worst income is what? Prostitution and hijama. Do you know that hadith?
No.
Money from hijama and prostitution is the worst income. Best income is what? Anybody?
Ghanima.
Mm.
Beyond that, no. The hadith best income is your own children and their
It
sons.
means that hijama should be free everywhere.
You can pay money. Prophet gave gift,
Mm.
but
You should
Personally-
never ask for it.
you should not ask for it. There should not be no rate. Go to any hijama place. They say 200
Per cup.
Afghani per cup, and they mashallah give 20 cups in your back, random places. It's a real story. So what I'm saying is, anything physical is least priority. Anything intangible, most highest priority. Prophet said to him that he sold his ruqya, right? And he was smiling, right? That he taught, he did ruqya and he got paid for it. He said, "Yeah, where is my share?" That means it's best halal income.
But even for ruqya, I don't know whether it's allowed or not. But for ruqya, the person who got the ruqya should pay.
Yes.
He shouldn't be asked to pay for it.
Well, I don't know if it is.
Actually, in the hadith, they did ask for him.
Yes.
Yes, they did ask, like, you will have to give us that many goats.
Yeah.
So it's allowed to ask.
It's, it's opposite to hijama, opposite to prostitution, right? But we have turned that around. But sell that knowledge. Today we talk about all this, right? This particular model. Your research produces this, that knowledge you can sell to China, America, everywhere else. What happened to one of your ministers? Said, "Doctor, we don't want to be bombed again. Because America is not doing it. If we do it, we'll get bombed." Because that's anti-akal. That's akal, that's stupidity to the power 5.
Sir, have you convinced that with Thamanan Qalilan? There is an ayah.
Yes.
Saladin said,
Like it says that you should not sell your Quran for Saman Qalila. But
No, it's not.
it's actually about those people who
Selling their soul.
who change it,
Yes.
who change the actual order of Quran.
That's
got
for
it.
that's for pimping. That's for selling your soul for little price. Today, Mahmoud Abbas told Israel that he's going to help with that fire. That's Saman Qalila. How much price? Palestinians were selling for $500 the location of the leaders. It came out when Sheikh Yassin was assassinated. $500. That's called Saman Qalila. But openly, you sell your knowledge, that's the most valuable. That's why I said, why are you selling raw material? Sell the knowledge. They come to you for training. You don't send your children to China. To learn what? Yesterday I learned that Afghanistan is making a contract to sell their gold. Same way they are selling petroleum for 90% goes to China. Now 90% of gold will be going to China.
But once I heard the interpretation of that ayah, that the person who was interpreting this ayah was saying that nowadays the people who offer ruqyas for other, interpret it in the way that they exaggerate. They say that we are prohibited from from thamanan qalilan, so
Yeah.
we can get more profit.
Yes. Yes.
Profit.
But it's not. For instance, I've seen a lot of people doing ruqya, very strange ones, like holding their head and all kind of things. That's dramatization. That's selling your ignorance. And that's completely haram. Ruqya is very simple, isn't it? Does it have all this physical exercise? I saw on a Muslim holding the head of the girl and reciting very loudly, so loudly that she is screaming. It's bothering her ear. Nobody said, "Oh brother, why are you criticizing?" At least he is trying to do something good. How do you know? It's an open violation because he's holding a non-muhram by head. So it's not very difficult. So now the question arises, does any of these, can any of this be done without the knowledge of science? Think about it. Can you learn that in madrasa? Does it will make sense? And the answer is clearly no. And that answers your question, why nobody challenged it. The one who could challenge are the ones who have no idea about the science. Other guys, why would they challenge? They're fine. You see the logic? People who know Quran and Hadith, they have absolutely no idea how the science was working. They have no problem. One of the biggest sheikh, so big that if I name him, you'll know. He said to my son that your dad, affectionately, he's not angry at me, that your dad seems to be a bit extremist. Once he learned that I don't even use shampoo. He doesn't see shampoo as something that is terrible. He doesn't see this light as something terrible. Even I mentioned that Osama bin Laden doesn't turn this light on, but for a different reason, not because it's toxic. Nobody knows this. And you are the only group who actually knows this. Nobody else does.
Yeah, that's the point. Like I was thinking about that. All the alims has never come up with the point that the science which has been brought to existence is
Based on falsehood.
yeah, based on falsehood. Even they don't talk like in Islamic countries, like in Pakistan, like in Afghanistan, and all the 56 Islamic countries. They don't speak out that even about the killing weapons.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
They
like
don't.
atomic weapons and mass killing weapons and artillery. They don't say that.
There is a disconnection between science with dollar sign and science of Islam. Sadly, they're weak in both. Because if you are weak in Islam, you take it upon yourself because seeking knowledge is an obligation. You need fatwa. Pakistan would never allow nuclear weapon if they had a single alim who knows even Islam. They don't. And this is the problem. And that's the crisis we are facing. Everybody applauded. MashaAllah, it's going to be Islamic bomb. When is it halal to have Islamic bomb? They did not ask this question. Very simple. That's why I said, having knowledge, having experience, having this pride that you know it all, that makes you stupidity to the power 5. I would rather have, actually, it's important to have people who do not know anything, they start from fresh. And that's why, first time I organized a course, I said, I don't care if they have a degree. As a matter of fact, I prefer whoever doesn't have a degree. I think Hikmatullah is one of them. Poor guy doesn't have a degree. You don't have a degree, right?
Oh, degree of what?
For computer science or engineering.
I'm over bachelor degree in the 5th semester.
Yes, you do not have a degree.
Yeah.
So I said, so what? You don't need a degree. As a matter of fact, if you have a degree, you're already wrong-headed. You have a pride that you know it, but you don't. Same with so-called Islamic degree.
Also, if we go back like 60, 70 years back, there was something like in the collective intellectuals, like when they would use speakers in the mosque,
Yes.
they would say it's the voice of Satan,
Yes, yes.
because they unconsciously knew that
That's
mic
very
and the
true.
speaker is associated with other things.
Mhm.
Similarly, when someone was using dish antennas and like
TV,
television,
it's Shaitan's dish.
it was associated with satanic things.
That's true.
So they said nowadays they're comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's how Shaitan works. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And nobody, even Maududi, like one of the greatest scholars, he died in US, cancer, under chemotherapy and radiotherapy and everything else until the last moment he has been injected. Did not even flinch once. That how is it halal? What happened to honey and black seed? If this is the best we had. So when it comes to hard science, blank. And did people notice when they were still innocent? And they would call TV as a Shaitan's dibba. Not dibba is Shaitan's box. But they are all gone now. Now, mashallah, I'm watching
Khutbah from Haram.
from Haram, Masjid al-Haram, right? Yes. At the same time, this Jennifer Aniston, or whatever her name is reciting Quran. What's wrong with that? And it goes on and on and on. Shaitan is very clever in that regard. So these ulama, the scientists that we were talking about, that I hope, inshallah, you become one, they are not content with dunya. They see everything in dunya and say, how can I change it? Constantly. If you are happy with West, if you are happy with this lifestyle, you're gone. They are very unhappy. They are not content at all. They don't have peace because everything is so bad. And they are striving for akhirah. That's the quality. Yesterday I had this funny incident and I'd like to share that. My daughter inadvertently saw this ant, right? It's a large ant. And she has not seen such a big ant before. She was very scared. She stepped on it. And it was turned upside down. I said, oh my God, I killed him. Right? She was crying. And I actually saw, and it was like in this last day. So I was thinking, should I just kill it so it's spared the pain, right? Because that's the common sense tells me. Then I said, who am I to decide if he's in pain? Maybe it's struggling to get better. Think about it. So what I did, I barely, because my daughter thought he's dead. First he was not moving, then it started slowly moving. So I plucked him out, put honey, this is honey. And he started to drink. And soon, I have a video actually, soon he walked away. He said, where are you going? Where are you going? So I caught him, I put him outside. But he had his honey drink. Says, in life, easiest thing to do is commit haram. For me, it would be very easy to kill him.
Then Elif would have been happy
No,
for its recovery.
They saw recovery. But Elif would cry. I said, Ma, you are the one who killed him, right? I blame. But instead, I said, who am I to decide for the ant what is good for him? So I knew what is best. The guy drank that. It was so beautiful. Actually, I have the video of that. Somehow I could not import here. But that's simple example. We talked about this, how Einstein cycle, and especially when it's hot and everybody's trying to polish up their air conditioner in the car. There is this, it's in Zero Waste Engineering book. The whole thing is discussed. You do not have any toxic chemicals. And the heat you can actually have directly from sun. And what are you heating? Oil. Oil is, people say, oh, direct sun is fine, you're not turning into electricity, that's good, but what happens at night? You heat oil. And that oil stays hot. Right? Then, that's not enough. It's what? First, we thought about vegetable oil, because refined oil is toxic. Then we thought, that's expensive. We would take waste oil. In Canada, all the restaurants, they throw out every day because they do not recycle. They throw out the oil. We took waste oil and stored that as a storage of heat. Frisson waste, which is negative, meaning they have to pay money to take it away. We are taking it with negative cost. We're turning that, and that becomes your both air conditioner, refrigerator, and heater. And that's true for Canada. Imagine how much true it would be in hot countries. But hot countries, what are they doing? Solar panels. Even in Saudi Arabia, even in United Arab Emirates, where solar panels, they literally melt. The silicons, they melt. Solar panels are best for cold, non-dusty. Here is hot and dusty. Middle East the worst. We had an example of wind turbine in Libya. Libyan government used to score points. He said biggest dam, biggest water pipe, and biggest everything. They installed wind tunnels, millions of dollars. Wind tunnels are best for cold and non-dusty. And windy, of course. Libya is the opposite. It's hot and sandy. Within weeks, they all broke down. They're producing nothing. But he scored point. So natural solutions are cheaper, and they're very, very smart, because you're turning waste into value addition. This is another example where I talk about taking waste material. Simple waste. All you do is put it in a confine with sunlight. Directly, you're heating. You produce value-added materials. Acetic acid, you have biogas that you use. You have volatile fatty acids. Everything that comes out of that is organic. So that's a lot better than synthetic chemicals that we can, just like the water treatment plant. The water treating, producing valuable chemicals. So biodigester can literally be turned into a chemical factory. And this is bio-waste everywhere you have. Talk about halal fuel. Any waste, because they all have carbohydrate, or even if they have protein, they are all part of what you would have in crude oil. Refined crude oil will produce the same products. Crude oil will produce the same products as any bio-waste. Comes to uranium, which is radioactive. This is the normal cycle. You can identify every stage, and you can turn that into something natural. So this is the process. How do you start a new technology? We first ask, is it sustainable? Before anything else. In Islamic term, is it halal? Meaning what? Scientific meaning of halal is always beneficial. That's the first test. If it is not, if at any time it's not beneficial, that's no. first question we ask, not if it is feasible or not it is economical, not it is most profit making. That's the modern standard. Sustainability standard, first question you ask, is it sustainable? If it is yes, then you subject to environment, economic and social. Social, nobody uses it. I was the first one to introduce that as a criteria. If it is not socially acceptable, it's not sustainable. Right? So you cannot talk about religion, you can talk about social, it's the same. Prostitution or education, they're both investment in, they're both money generating enterprise. For Islam, one of them is socially terrible, another is socially very good. So those questions will arise next. Then you talk about environmental first. Is it black there? Environmental, is any time is harmful to the environment? How do you know? The slope is always positive. Nuclear, is it harmful to the environment? Anytime it is. All the time. It's the exact opposite. Using DDT, is it harmful to the environment? Exactly opposite. Always harmful. Any artificial would be cut out right there. The criteria doesn't pass. Next, economic. So it's not enough that they are environmentally fine. Then you talk about money. Which one is more affordable? You can have, even in Prophet's time, white flour is more expensive than the white wheat, white bread, more expensive, right? So we talk about that next. Economy come after asserting that they are halal or sustainable, then environmentally friendly, then economics. The last one is socially. It's fine, but how about the social aspect? Is it good for this society? Only then you call that sustainable technology. It has to pass all criteria. This is a simple one in petroleum operations. We have solid liquid waste, we have liquid separation and gas separation, all this. The second column, everything that is used, already known. You have no research to be done, except you want to replace all of them with sustainable. Every stage. So, they are using toxic chemical, I'm going to use natural chemical. All of them. We used waste hair. Imagine, we have used limestone instead of processed chemical powders. Then, that's not enough. We look into, you see, these are waste. How we can refine that to be more valuable, more value addition. Remember the horseshoe to wash the spring? That we talk. The knowledge of this will end up giving you value addition of waste. Waste that was a liability, you added value to it. Minus became plus.
The limestones have captured carbon dioxide.
Yes. So give some examples. This is facts from history. Do you know there was an electric car in 1912? People forget, as if Elon Musk invented it. They had it. It's still not sustainable, but you have done nothing. This is not something new. Remember, research criteria is something in Quran 2:151. So you teach something that they did not know. This is all known. There is nothing new.
Previous things.
Same with steam car. Same time, 1920s. This was 1912, 1920s. They had a steam car. Do you think that was sustainable?
No.
Why not? It was more sustainable. This is not sustainable because it's turning into electricity. Right? But this is steam injection, steam engine. Totally sustainable. But it's gone. Because why? Because you don't make money out of honey. You make money out of aspartame. So they got rid of it. Just like Einstein's cycle was not taken, instead they took freon. Same way. But it was there. 1898 diesel. Do you know Diesel, the guy, his name is Diesel. Mr. Diesel's first experiment, do you know what it was with? Vegetable oil. And that's why many people, they want him to change to petroleum, and so he did not agree. Many people believe that he was assassinated. But what? How many years ago? And
127 maybe.
why are you asking now, how can I do this? They had it. And how are they making their diesel? Surprise. Pyrolysis. Same technique we talked about. Put it in a digester and just cook in heat. It breaks down. So they are doing from tang oil from China. They are producing gasoline, they are producing kerosene, diesel. They are using fish oil, linseed oil, castor oil, palm oil, cottonseed oil. Cottonseed oil, do you guys know what it is? They sell, what is it called in Pashto?
Punba.
The artificial oil,
Yeah.
artificial dalda?
Pundana.
Tuma.
Pundana or
That's not food.
Pumba.
That's not food.
Food, yeah. Banana.
Like margarine. That's not food yet. That's sold. Now they were using that to make fuel. Right? 100 years ago. And now we're sitting here and says, Doctor, what can you do? There is no new technology. How can you make a new technology? It's already there. Just look at your own past. Not very difficult. So I came across this interesting paper soap. Do you guys know this one? Do you know this?
That's the Atomo.
You do?
No.
Well, I have
Paper
it.
soap.
Eh? It's soap. You see? It's a soap, it has a paper. And if you put paper in water, it becomes soap. It's useful for our bathroom because I cannot find, I have tried 3 times to put a soap and somebody removes it, thinking it's garbage. There's no soap. One time I found a soap, but it's like toxic chemical sitting there. So I took it upon myself, I put my own soap and it's amazing.
I found like organic olive oil soap
Yes.
in Majid Market.
Did you? Please buy 10 of them for me. Because I found one that was 1.5 years ago, and I could not find after that. You see, now you see this technology, right? And this is very useful. To me, if I had a choice, I would make little balls of mud, the clay, right? That's the best cleaner. But you call me crazy, so I say, okay, I'll do this. I'll be fashionable. So now, how can you improve this particular one? It's a paper. Is paper sustainable? Is paper sustainable?
Yes, biodegradable. Paper.
No, it's not. That's not the definition of biodegradable. Sustainable. Sustainable has to be, remember?
Recover.
You cannot have any
Recycle.
chemical. And this guy is painted blue or yellow,
Yeah.
right? So the paper itself is not sustainable. So what if we replace that with?
No, the paper is sustainable. Like they were using paper. 100
Yes, because it was dark. That paper is sustainable, but not this paper.
We can reuse it, recycle it.
What?
The
You
paper.
recycle your bathroom paper
No.
Use it for what?
to clean your hand.
Yeah, but after.
That's right,
Yeah,
recycle
use
for
it
what?
for what?
But you see, we're stressing. But simply, can you not replace that with
Clay.
with clays one, that's perfect. Or leaf, dry leaf, you have everywhere. You put the coating, and that becomes your paper like this.
Maybe outside.
Dr. Saab, in Hilmand, then maybe he knows it. Like when they eat a pomegranate anar,
Mhm.
then they clean their hands with its skin.
Skin, yeah.
Yes,
Of
and
course.
it cleans off completely very well.
Oh, the color is, subhanallah, that's very possible. And that, you see, this is how we get ideas.
So you can get the a paper like of soap from the inner covering of the pomegranate.
You directly you take that, you make it thin slices, and each of them becomes on paper, so you don't waste.
Basically, a business idea here in Afghanistan because there are too many pomegranates here.
Of course.
Yeah, that's perfect. I
this-
showed you in Bangladesh they're doing plates out of banana.
But who knows? It kills bacteria.
نه دا لاسونه چې توروي کنه خو د دې څخه مطلق مخنیوي کوي لاسونه نه توروي چې په دغه پوست یې پرېږدي.
If it kills bacteria or not,
Uh,
every natural product has, that was the idea about olive oil, every natural product has bacteria killing agent in it.
هغه خو ډېر تریخ دی.
so even any type of clay can.
Clay, oh, clay is the best bacteria killer. I told you that, right?
So I mean any type of clay.
Yes, yes,
Just clay.
just clay. So you can make little balls, dry, so it's not messy, right? You want a person to pick it up and wash his hand, it's done. He's not touching another one. With soap, what happens? Same guy, same soap being touched by everybody. Not very good. Then with the push button one, your liquid soap is completely toxic.
Yeah.
So this is very simple.
Even with soap, that's very difficult. You clean that. You wash your hands with the soap, then picking it up.
Yes,
No,
it
again.
makes no sense. So these are simple ideas are the best one. Simple. By the way, do you know jackfruit? What is it called? Jackfruit? Do you know jackfruit, Saladin?
No,
The big fruit.
no, I haven't seen it.
Nobody knows? Katal? No, you don't know?
Can I search it?
Biggest fruit, jackfruit.
That's a big plate.
Similar to pineapple.
Fruit. No, it's bigger.
No,
This
it's
big.
just type of fruit, isn't it?
Yes,
We haven't seen it.
it's huge. And it's very tasty. It has little balls inside.
Yeah, this one. I think I heard this one in India.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard this. Yeah, this one. It's found in India.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
خټکی خو
No, double shade.
What melon?
No, this one.
No.
This
In
is-
India, it's available.
Anyway, this is supposed to be very difficult to digest. It's very tasty, but if you cannot digest, you get in trouble right away. Solution? It has seed. You take the coating out and you eat the seed right after. That's the medicine.
We do the same with apricots. And our
Exactly. A very good example.
whoever
Yes.
eats a lot of apricots, you have to eat the seeds afterwards because you might get
Right.
stomach
You
ache or
see,
something.
solution is always in nature. That's the point.
Is it always on the application?
No. Azumi.
Here, you see, we talked about material characterization. I said if you could put a direct function for sustainable and unsustainable, then you could tell that higher yield doesn't mean anything. With artificial, doesn't matter how much yield you have, it's still bad. We have done the same coefficient, similar coefficient for energy characterization. This is the first time ever somebody talked about good energy and bad energy. It was lot of pain, but you can tell how bad this is and how this is harmful to quantify. And that's in the, so with that, nuclear would be at the bottom, this would be next, and so on and so forth, right? So now I'm talking about some of the natural materials, how we can apply them to something good. Radioactive materials, right? We know the moment I mention radioactive, we say, oh, that's big trouble, right? Nuclear bomb. Yet, it has very good application, medical application. Not the medical that we are aware of, like gamma ray and all this toxic thing we're doing for radiotherapy, but the same in its natural state. You take radioactive material without processing, you can even have mouth bath. It will have the same effect.
Also, many of the people here, they wear like rings with specific stones, and they say it has healing effects.
Yes.
So is there any truth to it?
Well, there is, from deductive logic, I can tell you yes. Because any natural material will have radiation, any material. And that one would be having positive radiation. And that's very, I'm actually very pleased that you bring it up in this topic. Radioactive from natural ore would have healing effect. And different types will have different effects. But this is something we have to do research. Remember we talked about different organs having different frequencies? So every material has a different frequency. We have to see which one is the most healing for which
So
organ.
basically, it's like a knowledge which has been brought up from generations,
Yes.
and people use specific type of stones for specific type of.
Yes. Somebody has to ratify that. Somebody has to validate
Yes.
with modern science, which is a very terrific research topic. Novel materials, why am I saying this? Radioactives have many properties that are very unique. But we talk about steel from carbon and iron, right? What happens if you add radioactive to it? Natural state. We do not know. That's a new research topic. Light therapy. What happens with the light? It's the same energy that emits from certain radioactive. Even in my room these days, there is a green light. Right? I know it's toxic, it's artificial. What happens if there's radiation that's green? And coming back to your point, if gemstone is red, which organ does it relate to? If gemstone is blue, which organ does it relate to? Which element can be cured? Very big research topic, and you know, I mentioned many times that medical research is the most important one.
Doctor, there are lamps sold from pink salt.
Yes.
If you let them up, they say it's good for your.
Yes, I know,
respiration.
I know. The only bad thing is, I wish that lamp was not, the light was not artificial.
Yes, if it was like organic light.
Yes, it would be nice. Just olive oil or beeswax candle.
Yes.
Imagine that. I use beeswax candle myself, but it's so limited. So that's a very big, important research topic. What if you processed olive oil? That would be, that flame, that the smoke from olive oil would be a therapy for you, especially for lung. Waste purification, the reason I bring it up, radioactive properties are extremely beneficial. And one aspect that is, they can capture certain impurities. They are very good in taking out. I compare that with pigs. You know what pigs are? They are the natural cleaner. Did you know that? The best cleaner, naturally, best cleaner is a pig. Do you know why? You can feed them toxic chemicals, their poop will be good. It's organic. They turn toxic to organic. Do you understand? Is there any harm in having pig's poop in your fertilizer? It's good. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Wild animals. But the best animal to do that. And that's why you can see the signs of haram. Why is it? What do they do with the waste? They turn that into organic, which is beneficial. Whatever they cannot turn into, they put under the skin as fat. Most toxic chemicals end up under the skin, and that's called what? Anybody knows? It's called bacon. The tastiest part of pork. And everybody cannot do without bacon in the morning for breakfast. But if you know the science, you really have to fall in love. Subhanallah, Allah forbid it, because this is the worst thing you can have. Would you eat some chemical poison? But that's poor guy's doing his job. He's not supposed to be eaten. Right? But we are so stupid. With our stupidity to the power 5, we're eating that. But he's a very good guy. He's cleaning up the environment. So radioactive materials are very similar. They have a lot of functions that nobody explored. Only thing we explored, how to make it a bomb. We even have pesticide applications as fertilizer. Why pesticide? Because radioactive are very terrible for pesticide, pests. Not for us. Everybody is for our benefit, remember? In Surah Baqarah, verse 29. Everything is for our benefit. But for pests, they cannot tolerate. Right? You know, bacteria cannot grow in olive oil or honey. They cannot tolerate. But it's best for us. Very similarly, you can have applications of agriculture, application for radioactive. You know, if you spray even onion, pests do not come. It's a natural pesticide. What if you found similar application of all these so-called